The atrocities of war coming in Syria is tremendous in terms of damage. We have seen how the legitimacy of the government is being challenged by the opposition. We have seen, though, many massacres happening in Gula, Homs, and also on the towns around Syria. And we say, we indeed think that something needs to be done. But we don't think this debate is on how, ladies and gentlemen, the opening government would not like to debate whether or not intervention is needed, because that's definitely needed. What we're going to talk about is that how inherently we oppose to send in and fly in all of the boys of all of you as in the army to have an army presence in Syria and therefore having an invasion of Syria to begin with. The problem is, the opposition happens to lack weapons, although they have started consolidation and resistance. Syrian National Council have consolidated power. We need, therefore, a mission to make sure that the new government that's going to topple down, which is the Syrian National Council, to have legitimacy of power. And we're saying inflation is going to hamper the legitimacy of power and therefore the sustainability of the ruling party to begin with. The model is simple. Our intervention model will be using the North Buffer Zone. What is this? We're going to create a North Buffer Zone in the opposition territory. We're going to send in the military advisors coming from Turkey. North Buffer Zone will act as training facilities and the drop zone for weapons. And therefore strengthening the power of opposition to begin with. So we would like to arm the opposition to fight back against the government instead of sending a full military troop to begin with. Before I move on to my argument, is there anything you like?
What's the exact difference between sending opposition to arming with your own weapons according to your military?
Because, you know, if you're not arming them with your weapons, they're being slaughtered because, you know, like sticks and rocks does not win against rocket launchers, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, what justifies an invasion? The revolution is happening. But the question is there asking for help? This is different from the cases from Zimbabwe or Iraq and Afghanistan, on which people explicitly ask for help. Syrian National Council never asked this kind of help to begin with, thus showing no whatsoever need for a foreign power to intervene in these cases. But second of all, to topple down the government, you have to make sure that the power that is going to topple down the government has the legitimacy to continue on the power, transferring the mandate from the society. And the opposition just has exactly that. No. But soldiers from the United States of America, ladies and gentlemen, is going to invade this. What does it mean? Soldiers become important in roles of war. It has been irreplaceable even though we have invented UAV, tanks, whatsoever. Because they have the main role to keep down a power in a certain kind of places, holding down a defense perimeter, and therefore claiming that as their new victory. And we're saying, having a foreign power invade and make a stable perimeter inside that is going to create a foreign power within a country, therefore winning the whole idea of stability of the government. Something that the opposition so want, to establish a foothold and establish the defense perimeter in this kind of place. But furthermore, liberated by such kind of foreign powers, especially the one demonized so much in Middle East, on how USA is being called, you know, the great Satan of America, is not going to make a country good. Why? Because any regime that rules up to that loses its legitimacy because they're going to be helped by these people. We have seen this in Iraq and Afghanistan, how Nouri and al-Maliki and the Afghanistan Afghani Hamid Karzai has a different problem to control rebellions and insurrection because they lose the legitimacy of their people, to control their citizens. Because the intervention was backed by the United States of America, they were not the one with the legitimacy to liberate the people.
After you invade, you can have a free election, which means the mandate from the society is there and it's valid, not a puppet government of the West.
Well, if you have seen the case of Afghanistan and Iraq, they have an election, but that doesn't work because simply the government do not have the legitimacy because it's they're powerless. They have nothing to prove towards their citizens that they're indeed worthy of that particular mandate. Especially when you're toppling down a government, this kind of strength, power is needed. But second of all, this is going to harm regional stability, right? on how, ladies and gentlemen, if things are getting hairy in the Middle East. On Iran, Khomeini and his Majlis of Ulama has threatened to come into the war to begin with. With Qatari and Arabian background, this is going to cause, ladies and gentlemen, more harmful and more unstable Middle East. And we do not want exactly that. At the very end, ladies and gentlemen, this invasion is not justified because its damage caused by the invasion is going to outweigh the benefit of having the invasion. Something that just war, the framework is against to begin with. Before I close and conclude, is there anything you want to add?
Sir, but the nature of Iraq and Afghanistan is really different with Syria. Syria, people are aware of their political powers at the first beginning, right? So whether there is foreign or there is not foreign, they will still at the end have legitimacy, sir.
No. It's the same thing. One, they are Shia country. Second, they're ruled by crazy dictator. Third of all, political dissent is heavily repressed in Syria. And fourth of all, the resistance army is now fighting with sticks and rocks. We're saying this kind of things. Although sticks and rocks is not going to topple down the government. That's exactly what, ladies and gentlemen, arming them, giving them the power to make their power legitimate in toppling down the government is going to solve the problem, and not foreign invaders, ladies and gentlemen. So based on all of those reasons, because we believe that revolutions that is happening shows that there is no necessity for military invasion to begin with, because the just war was meant to have a stability of the government on how soldiers became important, because the ability of soldiers to take hold and power is means controlling the stability from insurrection that might happen after the war. We're saying this, the damages is not worth the invasion, and we